You know, whenever you're writing a bucket list, you're like, these are things that might happen someday, but watching yourself actually progress and grow and be able to check those things off is really quite satisfying and really rewarding. Hello, sweet earthlings, and welcome back to Invaluable V, where we heal the collective with compassion. It's a brand new month, and I decided that I wanted to do a quick little journal tour because at the end of every month and at the beginning of every month, I do a quick reflection on how my previous month went, and I do an intention setting, I guess, kind of ceremony for the month ahead. And I was like, you know what, that might help some people, and I really just enjoy doing it, so I might as well share it. I have the Legend Planner. You can find it on Amazon. I use it at the beginning of each year to kind of guide how I want the year to go and flow and see how I grow each year, and I get to use that to reflect. So I just wanted to go through and look at all the different features that this journal has and how I use it to bring more intention and more love into my daily life. So this journal starts with a quick little section on your personal awareness and your self-discovery, which I think is really helpful because it allows you to sit with who you are and look at who you want to be and who you are now, and how you can use that kind of knowledge to guide you through your daily life and through your year, and how to grow internally and spiritually. You can use that to write down your dreams. So it has this little bucket list for you. They don't call it a bucket list, they call it a dreams list. It says my dreams, and you can write down 50 different dreams that you have in all areas of your life. There's also a space for a vision board. I think I showed this in my last video. I have not finished my vision board, and the next section I still haven't finished. It's August. It's August right now, and I still haven't finished this, but there's a section for 1-year goals, and you can look at this. Okay, so it has 8 different areas of life, and in each section you can create three yearly goals, or 3 goals for that year that you want to achieve or that you want to work towards, which I think is really helpful because it allows you to create that next section. So the next section is you have 3-month goals. So it starts with the yearly goals. You break those yearly goals down into 4 3-month goals, and you break those 4 3-month goals down into 1-month goals. And then you can break those monthly goals down into weekly goals. So it really just takes a huge amount of time and allows you to narrow it down and to look at how your habits and how the small things that you do for yourself can really impact you in the long run. So this is my current 3-month goals. And then it has little action steps that you can take, which is perfect because in Atomic Habits, it's by James Clear, which it's a beautiful book. I haven't finished it yet, but I started reading it, and it talks about how goals are not the differentiating factor in people who succeed and in people who don't succeed in achieving them, because everybody has goals. We all want to succeed in certain areas and in similar ways, but we don't, that's not the defining factor. That's not the determinant for how we succeed. What determines your success is your habits and your actions and the small little things that you do every day to get you where you want to be. So I think that having these action steps for your 3-month goals is perfect, because it's going to be really difficult to achieve that goal if you don't have a kind of guideline or a kind of plan for what you want to do. And I'm a firm believer in you don't have to know how everything is going to work out as long as you know that it will. There are some things where you have to take the action yourself, and I think this is a perfect space to do that. So those are for the 3-month goals, and then it has your month. So it has your month outlined just like this, and then it has, for each month, you have 4 most important monthly goals, and then you have 6 of those 8 life areas. It's a space where you can write things you'll do to make the month great in that area. Okay, so I'm not sure when or why the video cut off, but it did, and I'm back and I changed, and I want to talk about the weekly section of this journal because it is my favorite part. this is the weekly layout. So this is this week. It's Tuesday, so I only have Monday filled in. But I use this space to write down a little teeny daily reflection. And it's not so much like an in-depth, like, here's how I was feeling today and let me analyze it. It's more of like, what did I do today and how was I feeling during each moment. So I'm like, I woke up too early, so I was angry, or I woke up really early and I was very excited to be alive. And then I say kind of like how I went through my day and what I did. So that really helps me remember what I did throughout the day, which is very important to me. Whenever I wasn't doing this, there's just like an empty space in my memory where I don't know what I did throughout the day. But I've noticed that since I started writing everything down, everything is filled with a lot more vibrant colors, and I can feel my memories more easily and effortlessly. So it really helps with that a lot if you're looking to improve your memory. And on the right hand side, it's got a space for your week's main goal and a reward for yourself. There's also a habit tracker, which I think is essential. Like I was talking about earlier, I think habits and systems are the best way to achieve your goals. So I have things like yoga, meditation, going to bed early, waking up early, drinking enough water, and doing my night routine, things like that. And those are the things that help me get to be who I want to be. And those are the kinds of goals that I have that will help me just set myself up for success in the long run. So that's what I have in my habit tracker. There's a space to do a work and a personal to-do list, and then there's another little middle section here on the right hand side. I just use that to finish my daily reflections because I never can fit it into the little tiny space unless I write really small. So I just use that as my overflow writing. There's a space to reflect on your wins and to reflect on how you can do better the next week and to plan the next couple of weeks. And I like to use my weekly goals and my monthly goals hand in hand. So if I have a big monthly goal that I'm trying to achieve, like let's say it's savings or it's consistency in the gym, I can put that on my week's main goal. So if my monthly goal is go to the gym every other day, I'll say on my weekly goal, go to the gym 4 times this week. And then I'll have that for every week, and by the end of the 4 weeks of the month, I'll have achieved my monthly goal. So it really makes it a lot easier to do the things that I want to do and to make them a little bit more, like I've said already so many times, digestible and approachable in a way that makes sense to our brains. I think that's all that I have for the tour, but now I want to include some tips on how to get consistent when you're journaling and how to incorporate this into your daily life. I think the biggest tip that I have is to start small and to not put a lot of pressure on it. If it's something that you really value and you really want to do, you will make it happen. There is a space for you to do that. And I think the biggest thing that I can say is to just do a little bit every day. So what I did at the beginning of the month, I don't do this anymore, or the beginning of the year, I don't do this anymore, but I started out by, let me see if I can find it, by writing down what I did every single day. So if I didn't get a chance to do my daily reflection, I would just kind of write a couple words that summed up my day, like went to the park, did yoga, made a yummy lunch or something like that. And that was my journaling for the day. Another tip is to not break the chain of continuity. So if you miss a day of journaling, just the next day, do the day that you missed and the day that you're in. If it is like a nightly reflection, just make sure that you make up for the days that you missed, and that will feel like a continuous chain. And then I think just being really gentle on yourself whenever you are trying to pick up a habit is very important, because I noticed that whenever I beat myself up for like not doing something or for skipping a day, I stay on the path of not doing it. But whenever I'm like, oh, it's okay, I just missed one day, let me just pick it back up tomorrow, I'll have like one day that I missed and then the other days are full. Or I'll have a couple days that I missed, but then next week maybe it's empty too, and that's perfectly okay, but the next week is full. And I just always try to come back to my peace and remember, this is where I naturally lie, this is what I want to do, and so I will make it happen, even whenever I do miss a few days, or even whenever I fall out of the habit or of the pattern. But I definitely think that starting small and being easy on yourself and just trying to do a little bit every day is very important for starting the habit. Something else to do this is to create an association with a habit that you already have. So for me, I journal in bed. I do my daily reflections in bed. I have my journals and my pens beside my bedside, like on my bedside table. Whenever I slide in bed, get under the covers, get all cozy, I sit with my journal and I just write what I did in the day. I close it and I go to sleep. And so I've created an association with climbing in bed and journaling. So those two habits are linked together for me now. And sometimes I'm too tired and I just fall straight asleep, and then I wake up the next day and I'll like fill in the day that I missed. And that's perfectly okay, and I'm not upset with myself, I'm not mad at myself if I miss a day, because that's just how it happens. But I always make sure to just come back to it. For weekly journaling, for weekly reflections and weekly goals and things like that, I say if you have a schedule or if you have a planner, find a space where that fits into your planner and put it in there as if it's like a mandatory meeting. So I do my journaling and my reflections on Sunday every week, or I try to at least. I don't have a schedule right now, but whenever I get into college I will, and I'll have a block planner. And so like at the bottom of Sunday every week, I'll have a little section that says journaling, that says planning for like the next week or the next month or whatever. And so I think just like working that into your already set schedule and your already set routine can be very helpful. And then for monthly journaling, I would say, and like for your monthly reflections, I would say that just this is not the best advice, but just doing it whenever you can is it's what works for me. With the lighting change, I just today I'm doing my monthly and weekly reflections on Tuesday the 2nd. So it doesn't always fit in exactly how you want it to, but that's okay. I'm still getting it done, I'm still doing it, and I'm still working through it with intention. And that is what matters the most, is just showing up for myself day in and day out and making sure that I do what I need to do. I'm having a little more this large. This is good. Well, I think that's all that I have for today. But I really hope that this was helpful, and I hope that this gave you some insight or clarity as to how you can implement journaling into your daily or weekly routine if that's something that's important to you. I hope that this does make a difference in how you approach the world and how you approach your life. So if nothing else, please remember that I love you and that you are cared for, and I will see you in a future video. Thanks!